Today is January 11th. The Yankees are close to signing Marcus Stroman, says two people in the whole world. Are they telling the truth? We'll dive into that and a whole lot more on this episode of Talkin' Yanks. That was good baggage, right?
Killer.
That was Jerry. That was Jerry.
We got to get more Mike O'Malley.
I'll figure that out.
And we're doing an episode of Talkin' Yanks. Marcus Stroman.
Is that me? Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for tuning in to the episode today. We're coming to you live from the owner's suite in the warehouse, which is a room that we are talking and doing a podcast from. There's three of us. At the end of the month, there's going to be a room we do a podcast from. There's four of us because Aaron Boone will be joining us at Downtown Social, January 29th. Tickets are up for sale. Shop.johnboymedia.com. The one VIP is already sold out. I think we've sold a ton already. So thank you to everyone that's bought it, purchased. We are excited to see you. And if you haven't and you're available and you want to come on down. Jake, how you doing?
Doors open at 6:30, January 29th. Go get a ticket. Go get 5 tickets. And the easiest way to remember it, Jim, 12 days after my sister's birthday.
That's how I've been doing it.
I know that's how you remember it. Downtown Social. Those are two of my favorite things. Sneaky.
I've just kind of been downtown.
Yeah.
I've just kind of been remembering it as.
Yeah, Rourke hit you today with Jim was singing.
He was? He heard me?
Yeah.
I was on morning. Yeah.
Jimmy was singing.
I don't sing. I explain on morning. It's actually an impression of a girl I know's dad who was, we were day drinking together, and he just was walking around the party singing that, and then he would point at you, and then you had to do it.
Oh, wow. I like that.
And that was all he was doing. The song was not on.
That song was big Dallas, Jake, which, again, weird.
Same timeline,
year and a half blip of my life. And I would, if that song came on, I would really make a scene.
Hell yeah.
I would really
that
Downtown!
Yeah, that's kind of what the guy was doing.
Yeah.
that song was getting a lot of run in my freshman year of college dorm, so that I'm connected to that song as well.
Damn.
Wow. All right.
Year.
Freshman year of college. Holy smokes. That's Boots with the Fur was our freshman year. That was senior year of high school. Anyway, the Yankees,
Junior year.
John Morosi said Yanks and Marcus Stroman. Someone else said it first. The initial report was that Stroman reached out to the Yankees and said, I'm interested in playing for you guys.
What was it was something like they've become each other's leading candidates or something like that?
But the first one was the Yankees had no return interest. That was the very first report. Then it came out, no, the Yankees do have interest. And then the last one was Morosi chimed in.
Mutual.
And Morosi's under the gun. Like, he can't get things wrong anymore this winter.
Have something straight up
so,
wrong.
like, he must feel on a fucking island right now to come out and be like, yes, I am hearing this. And not anyone has backed him.
I have a timeline in front of me.
Okay, did I get it right?
Basically, there was a report, so this is going a week ago today, Stroman not on the Yankees' radar from Randy Miller. Then Sunday, Nightingale said Stroman has informed the Yankees he's interested in signing with them, but the Yankees had yet to make an offer. The next day, Monday, Nightingale said the Yankees and Stroman continue to have mutual interests. And then Wednesday, which is yesterday morning as we're recording this, Morosi said Yankees are the front runner to sign Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, it came out like right after we did Snell Monty.
What's the
First started rumor. Like being like started picking up.
So I zoned out. I think I heard it but didn't hear it.
Okay.
Did Nightingale say the Yankees are interested?
Nightingale
was his
and initially reported that Stroman's interest, and the next day reported mutual interest.
So two people have said mutual interest: Nightingale and Morosi.
Yes.
Okay, so it's not Morosi on an island. I spoke out of turn.
Not Morosi on it.
Morosi used the word front
Bobby.
runner.
It's an interesting island.
Front runner's interesting. So that's where we stand, and we can talk about this many which ways. A fit on the team as a player, and compared to the rest of the market of available pitchers to fill slots, or as in the clubhouse, or as a person, or fan base, because there's a lot of history with Marcus Stroman and Yankees fans, and Cashman and Stroman. So I guess just like gut feel, Jake?
Gut feel is, I think for Yankee fans, because Marcus Stroman has played a lot of good baseball. I think his career ERA is a 3.46. I don't have my laptop open in front of me, but like Marcus Stroman, he's pitched over 1,000 major league innings. He's had some really good seasons. He's really only had one bad season. The problem is for Marcus Stroman currently is it would be the Yankees need another move, and I don't know if there is another move. So that's kind of been the discussion with a lot of the Yankee fans, at least in our company and stuff, is like, hey, if they do this with Stroman, which we're going to get to some of the online persona and some of the quotes between him and Cashman, it's whatever. You know, we went from Yamamoto, who we were hoping would be a 2 to Garrett Cole, like he was going to be the 2 in our rotation, to then we're talking Snell and Monty, which that discussion is basically like, well, you know, maybe Snell can be our 2, and Monty is less risk, but he's probably a 3 type. Where now Stroman, who, you know, is a quality MLB starter, it's just his best case in a season is probably a 3. And so basically the conversation has been, hey, if Marcus Stroman's in the back end of our team, in our rotation, that's kind of nice. If he's not and the Yankees are done, we have 5 starting pitchers, all have different question marks, whether performance, injury, or other, that going into a baseball season, especially after last year, where we went into the season with our 8th starting pitcher, that's the worry. That's the worry.
Yeah. My gut reaction is like, oh man, hope not. That's so much extra shit going on, and it just didn't feel like right. Most of it is like it feels so much like the Yankees would not do this. Michael Kay kind of talked about this on his show as well, that it's like, what? Like, this is weird. Just feels like they would avoid this because he's a loud guy. Right. He's had tough exits a lot of places. He had a tough exit in Toronto. He had a tough exit in the Mets where he called them racist, and then he called Michael Kay racist, and then he called us racist, and we tried to reach out to be like, hey, man, can we, like, chat? We know players that you know.
Yeah,
we're all friends.
We actually used
really hard.
We used some of our, like contacts that we thought maybe we have one request for, like, hey, we'd really like to talk to Stroman.
Yes.
Iron this out.
Like, I'd love to chat. No hard feelings here. Like, there's something weird going on. And he responded, like, I will never talk to those guys. They're racist. And I was like, what?
Okay.
He's since deleted all these tweets, a lot of them. But, yeah, so there's a weird history of him calling people out. And, like, Cash always answers questions. Yankees fans get mad because I think Cash is kind of honest sometimes. And sometimes you disagree with him, so you think he's lying. But I do think Cash is honest. Sometimes you're like, wait, that's how you think? That's a bummer.
There's the one Bubba Crosby quote, but
yeah, that's semantic. But most anyway, why didn't you? He said, like, why didn't you trade for Stroman? And he said he wouldn't be a difference maker. And what he was saying was we were looking for players that would be top 3 in the playoffs, and they didn't think that he would outdo Paxton, Tanaka, and Severino back in 2019, who was coming back. So that was what Cashman was saying. Right. Stroman got very upset with that, and like shot back and fired back and said he would never play for the Yankees and stuff like that.
And there's a follow-up, like the only guy in the Yankees that's even
2 years
in
later.
my realm.
That was 2 years later.
Right. He said Cole.
The only guy that's even, his quote was, besides Cole, there's no current Yankee pitcher who would be anywhere in my league over the next 5 to 7 years. If he joins the Yankees, that he's talking about Nestor there, so they would be teammates.
Yeah.
I think he's the only one remaining. So
Clark
was in New York, but didn't feel like he had a target on him.
Yeah. And then
it'd be weird for Clark to hold down.
His next quote was, their pitching always folds in the end. That lineup and payroll should be winning World Series left and right, yet they're in a drought.
Half agree.
LOL. Half agree. So, yeah, just like with all that history, you're like, you know, this dude just turned down a qualifying offer for $21 million a year. So, and he wants a multi-year deal. So you're looking at 2 for 45 or 3 for 60 something. Good amount of money and time to give to like someone with that history of back and forth. Now, you can also get over this shit pretty easily. Like Stroman could just be like, hey, you know, I used to run a little wild on Twitter, and I apologize.
That's how sports works a little bit.
My bad. It's all good. And Cash can say, yeah, that's fine.
Yankee
if it comes
fans
together, it's
rooting
like,
for Damon.
Yeah. If it comes together, it's a little bit like both sides swallowing a little something because they both So that's stuff that looks weird now. If it
So
happens.
that was my gut. Like, no way, really?
Yeah.
Like, this is gonna happen. And then from a pitching side, it's my brain went to exactly what you were saying. Like, if the Yankees do this, it's gonna be their move. They're gonna do this, and then they're gonna
Right.
trade for a lesser starter, and that's gonna be the 2 starters they get. And I'm not happy with that. Who's still out there at all?
Yeah, I guess we don't know that. We're in fear of that, and that would seem likely, right? Like, there's still the other trade candidates we've talked about out there. My whole spin zone, if I was Yankees PR, which I'm not going for, Zillow, like, we're cool.
That's your gig.
You're good. I'd be bad at it. They could probably sign Snell. You could sign Snell and Stroman for still $100 million less than Yamamoto. Like, that would be, if I was the Yankees and I had permission to spend that money. And then the Yankees, you're looking at 6 major league guys. You probably open in a 6-man. I mean, you start daydreaming a little bit. Like, that would be exciting. But I just talked about signing this guy and the defending National League Cy Young. So that's the worry. And with the past history, it makes you wonder a few things. Because I do think the other thing that needs to be said here is they traded for Verdugo. And Verdugo just left Boston kind of not on good terms. We like Verdugo's personality. We've seen it from afar, but we don't know what that looks like day in, day out. Like, I know a lot of my Red Sox fans that I trust, they were like, hey, Doogie's cool, but there were problems. Like, there's a reason they wanted to move on from Alex Verdugo in their last year. So if the Yankees are adding Verdugo and Stroman, the clubhouse, which we've talked about a little bit on this show, a lot out Mike, as they say in the biz. That's a little industry talk. If you guys ever,
Out Mike.
if you ever want to show people you listen to a lot of podcasts, tell them you're talking out Mike. Off Mike.
I didn't even know what you were getting at.
The Yankees
Off Mike.
Off Mike.
Okay.
The Yankees clubhouse dynamic, during the course of this show, CeCe and Gardy run the world in different ways. Going back, if we want to be old Yankees and obnoxious people, Jeets, Posada, like all that. It's been Judgy, and Judgy's taken the reins, and like Rizzo's taken a lot of control. We've seen Cole step up and kind of be the pitching guy, and we've like fully loved that. Like, Cole's been full tilt. Judge still kind of has like we want Judge to kind of let it eat more. Like, don't just do the New York City, like, today was a tough game, but we'll go get him tomorrow. Like, give us a little more, Big Daddy. That the clubhouse dynamic, you're adding personalities. And the last signing that we had a personality we were nervous with, Donaldson, we didn't love what we saw. But again, we're the New York Yankees. We want performance. If Stroman pitches to what he did last year in his first 3 months, where he had a 2.47 ERA, Yankee fans would like Marcus Stroman a lot.
And I love a Gold Glove pitcher.
That is kind of the biggest fun spin.
Yeah. That I very much enjoy that.
And I'd start wearing his apparel. He's got a clothing line ad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tagline of it.
Let's do another ad.
Speaking of, jackpot. Jackpot. Jim, would you like $187 million?
Wow.
Right?
All at once? And publicly known?
Would have to look in. I think you can get a lawyer. It's not public.
I watched Brewster's Millions recently, and it was kind of like, it looked daunting.
Play that on MLB Network all the time.
But yeah, I'd take
Just
it.
wild.
I'd take it. I'd donate some to you guys.
Well, that's the current Mega Millions
With interest.
jackpot. And jackpot.com lets you play the lottery right from your phone. You can play Mega Millions, Powerball, New York Lotto. No need to go stand in line at the convenience store or gas station. I added that part, not in there. Jackpot.com is now live in New York, Texas, Ohio, and Massachusetts. Plus, we have the hookup for a free ticket. All you have to do is use code YANKS when you make a deposit. That means you have a chance to win $187 million for free if you just use code YANKS at jackpot.com lottery app. Click the link below. Try it out, man.
Well, I have something to say. Great improv in the middle of the read.
Thank you.
And I think that maybe we have Jeremy on our sales team reach out to Jackpot and say, hey,
you like this?
Do you like this improv?
Not only did he say convenience store, he threw in gas
He
stations.
added gas station. And if you like that, there's more. We can do more of that.
We can improv so much.
Well, I would love if we sent
Yes,
that.
and.
I would love if we sent that and they just responded to Jeremy and said, Jackpot.
That would be my email sign off if I worked
so
at
good.
Jackpot.
That's so good.
Just end every email with that. Jackpot.
Jackpot. Ah, it's great. We should call one of our Jacks Jackpot. We have 5 at the
We
company.
need more Jacks with better nicknames. Only one's got like a good one. Audio Jack.
Yeah.
Jolly.
I'm over the Jacks.
Jolly.
Jolly's a pretty big, good nickname.
It's a good nickname. I feel like he'd like Jack.
Lucas DeVersa, great save. Scouting, little
Wow.
warehouse game, some big announcement coming out tonight. If you're listening to this right now,
Might already be out by the
6
time you're
p.m.
listening.
tonight.
6 p.m. Go check out the Warehouse Games channel.
I do think the pitcher Marcus Stroman you would be into between the Gold Glove defense and the the early groundouts he generates.
It's slightly a Yankees problem currently, like the roster. If the Yankees had signed Yamamoto and there was Stroman rumors, I think we'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, the first
Right?
the first half of like of the weird feelings because of the history of like mouthing would still be there, but it would be like they must not give a shit. They got Yamamoto. Everything's cool.
Right.
They can handle anything. They're great. Because they don't have a Yamamoto or a Snell or trade for a Bieber or whatever those guys. And then this is the move. It just kind of reeks of desperation. Like, oh, shit.
Right.
And then it also reeks of like intended fan service with the complete opposite, where we've seen them do trades where it where it feels like, in my opinion, they don't even believe in it. I'm talking about the Montas trade. I never thought they fully believed in that, and it was more because
It was the next
Had
man
to do
up.
something.
it was the next man up, and as fans, we were like, "Fucking go get pitching, do something," and because you don't trade for a guy when the whole world says he's injured like that.
Yeah.
And Cash said it was a failed trade. Like
I didn't like the Montas trade.
2 months after it happened, Cash said it was a failed trade. So I have fan fictioned a lot on this show.
Let him rehab. It's nice.
That was like kind of fan service, but then it didn't work. But no fans were against that. It almost feels like, hey, where's a guy that costs enough money and is good that on paper it is better for the rotation, and the fans can't say we did nothing, but isn't a huge deal. And it lands at a guy who has fan service the other way, where it's like bad because he's talked shit to the whole fan base. So it's a real weird dichotomy of a relationship.
It's interesting because in a way it's the value play.
I'm gonna Google dichotomy and see if I use that right.
I do because I do have the Stroman, like, which, because they say they need 2 pitchers. We want them to be like straight up good, and they're gonna need like a bonus guy. And I do have him in the good bucket. Of the guys in the good bucket, he's the one that I was least excited about. So it feels like going into spring training, whatever the second pitcher they get is a guy that will be beneath him. That's
I
the
used
vibes.
it good enough.
I think you
Used it
used
well enough.
dichotomy good.
Yeah.
The other thing that
I don't know.
whenever I'm first to market on something, I'm still scared. Just because I shouldn't be. It's kind of the bad brain thing. Like, if I'm the first to jump here, how could that happen? When the rumors initially happened, which, we're a week in now. I guess, we just did that
A
timeline.
day.
We just
were
did
a
that
day in.
timeline.
It says yesterday morning was BB's timeline.
Well,
Yesterday morning was when it got like real.
That the Yankees were interested.
right.
Stroman,
interested was
the
Sunday.
report saying
Sunday.
Stroman's interesting in us is like, yeah.
Sunday.
Every
It's
agent,
Thursday.
every
now.
agent, the like number one play in their book is say the Yankees. They're interested in the Yankees or vice
Nightingale and
So here's
Morosi was Sunday? I thought it was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning was Sunday was when the first time we got Stroman interested in the Yankees.
Yes, Yankees interested back was yesterday morning.
Monday, Wednesday.
So
Yesterday morning is when it got real.
here's what I've got. I've got Nightingale, who I say this with all due respect, because in person, he seems like a blast. I have him muted on Twitter. That's a no-fly zone for me.
Who?
Nightingale.
That's Trev's guy.
I know. But it's just a no-fly zone
Did
for
you
me.
read his article?
No.
Where he called out reporting and included himself. Is very self-aware of like, we're a mess.
I think Bobby Nightingale's like a good hang, but I think it's kind of that current Twitter translation. It just doesn't work. Morosi's fine. He's had a miss. He's had makes. Whatever. Don't really care. Doesn't feel like he's out for clicks, which sometimes Nightingale has had in the past. Jack Curry all silent on the Western Front. We haven't heard anything from JC. This gives me, my initial reaction was 90% everything we just talked about. Like, yeah, maybe the Yankees can get Stroman at a decent value compared to these other pitchers, and both sides are kind of coming together and admitting their wrongs, and it looks like a weird, bad relationship, but they're going at it together. 10% at the start, smokescreen. Like, the Yankees are working the trade market. They're talking to Cease. They're talking to Bieber. Probably the teams that they represent, not directly.
Yeah.
That I don't know. If I was the Yankees and I was talking to Shane Bieber and I wanted to drive the price down, I would send out some Stroman rumors that, oh, no, instead we're just going to sign Stroman. So I had a 10% initial smokescreen reaction, and the further we get away from now all of these tweets and conversations, it goes up like 1 percentage point every 4 hours.
Could be smokescreen the other way, too, which we've seen before, is that Stroman's agents in camp are trying to up
Red Sox,
Mets again. Yeah. Oh, he should go to the Red Sox.
He should go to the Red Sox.
That would be a fun
Actually,
time.
love it there.
And here's what I'll say. We've talked about the Yankees needing starting pitching for a while. How many of their pitchers have we said, go to the Red Sox?
No, go.
Yeah.
That's be great time.
He has a very bad ERA against the Yankees or at Yankee Stadium?
At Yankee
at
Stadium,
Yankee
which
Stadium.
all those games would be against the Yankees.
Against the Yankees.
Doesn't Judge own him?
Well, I'll look into that.
I think it's a 6 ERA at Yankee Stadium. So,
That'd be a lot of his starts.
you'd think around half.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge is 10 for 21, 4 homers. 1.6.
Doesn't have to face him.
Juan Soto, 3 for 10, homer and a double. Walked 4 times, 1.2 OPS.
Okay. Doesn't have to face those guys anymore.
Go to the Red Sox.
Glaber's 1 dotting.
Go to the Red Sox.
Let's go to the Red Sox. Yeah, I mean, I like the Luzardo rumors. That was the first name that came to my head.
You love Luzardo.
Well, it was the first name that wasn't being talked about everywhere, because that's what I think Cash and his crew are doing. They're trying to find the starter that with more years, I didn't know, blah, the Clay Holmes effect and shit. And he was the first one I was like, the Marlins going to trade him? The more I think about it, no, he's got 3 years. It costs a lot.
It would be a big trade.
Be a big trade, but
I'm
second-
planning a Marlins episode for next week. So we'll look into him and maybe some other targets on that team, just so you know.
But or the other thing that is trade value is Peraza has an extra year of option now, or service
He
time.
qualified for a 4th option.
Yes, so
Option.
so that makes him a little more valuable in trade talks.
Teaser
A lot of
for
the
that
trade
Marlins.
talks,
sneaky important for Talkin Yanks
yeah.
real BS listeners.
I saw a trade that was like, "Oh, about this trade with the Brewers," and it was it was sad Yankees fans overvaluing some of the guys. I was like, "Don't do this again with Clint Andujar."
Bad news already there.
Well,
It was, it was like
those guys were rumored in one trade that I think Cashman would have done initially.
way early on.
Right.
But who even knows? It was just Pereira and Peraza, and that was all for Burns.
Yeah, it's probably not happening.
That was like, and a lot of
I
people.
thought the version I saw was those 2 in Hampton, but
maybe in
yeah,
Hampton.
the point stands.
I still think the point stands.
I 100% think the point stands.
Yes. Pereira, I don't think his MLB stuff can really be held against him. It was such a small sample size at the end of the day. Peraza, it's what the other team sees. Do they see the everyday starting shortstop that can play defense and he can get you some stolen bases, and what can he hit? Those two still have trade value, but, Corbin Burns, no.
Well, Peraza for the Marlins too. They like that contact.
That was the original rumor.
Yeah. How high did Pereira get as a prospect? Like, was
He's
he
top 100?
He is top 100.
The lists haven't updated yet. They might want to do something before the next iterations come out. But
And I think he
Top
was still
120,
he was
22
sneaky
years old.
young, right? Like
He's
he's
22 years
23
old.
or he just
Yeah.
so I don't know. I mean, I think the bigger thing there,
I mean, yeah.
doing some Yankees math,
Yankees got to do something with Pereira now.
Soto, Dominguez, Judge.
Yankees got to do something with Pereira now because with who they have in the outfield, he's in line to just be Florial again for 4 years.
Yes.
The fact that he's on the 40-man at 22 and going to
yes.
get up and down, like they got to either set him free early or he's going to get trapped.
He is 22 years old and has the raw exit velo, and I think his defense grades well, especially in the corners. Like, they kind of have to move him in some move. I don't know what it is.
Oh,
passing.
passing.
Oh, my
Passing.
God, wrong button.
We're the smartest people in the world. Welcome to Talkin' Yanks, where we tell you what's going to happen before it happens. Luke Weaver with the Yankees.
Yes.
Oh, obvious.
Duh!
It's done.
Duh! He's a stud at the end of last year. 1 year, $2 million contract.
Go on.
Club option for 2025.
Wow. So if they get Stroman, then's your two moves.
They're done. Luke Weaver in that.
Luke Weaver, sorry, Stroman. Luke Weaver just bumped you out. We need someone bigger to fill that spot.
Just give Luke Weaver a major league deal.
He's a stud.
He learned a cutter in that one day
I
with
sort of
Cole.
blindly assumed he was already re-signed to a minor league deal, and we just didn't hear it yet.
So Luke Weaver will be our swing man. Here's, I don't know if
I
this
like
should be
Luke Weaver
spun as good
for
news.
the role, I think, but
The back of our bullpen still had room, and I wanted a true long man for a while. That if Luke Weaver wants to be that, I'm open to it. But yeah, okay. Juicy. Yamamoto moved to the side.
Luke Weaver. What did he do last year? I mean, this episode is now Luke Weaver reaction up.
With the Yankees, 3 starts.
One of them was like six innings.
13.1 innings to the tune of a 3.38 ERA.
But what was the
good start?
the Pirates he got.
No, I thought it was Blue Jays at the end of the year or something like that.
4 innings, 2 earned. He was good. He had a 5.1 shut piece against the Snakes, the World Series. Arizona.
Yeah, that's what we
That
said.
was a revenge game for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luke Weaver, come on down. Wow. I mean, Clayton Beater just bumped out of the 5th spot. So Garrett Cole, Carlos Rodon, Clark Schmidt, Nestor Cortez, Luke Weaver. Unfortunately, this means the Yankees will get one more pitcher. Because they're not moving Cole, Rodon, Schmidt, or Nestor from the rotation. And now Weaver's got a major league deal? No options?
It seems like that doesn't sound like a
I think
minor
he can
league
be a
deal.
swing.
I don't know. I'm guessing we will know soon. It could be a minor league deal that like those are the numbers if he's in MLB. Like those happen, but the way that is phrased seems like it's a guaranteed major league deal for Luke Weaver.
If it's a guaranteed major league deal,
Right.
I am nervous
Right.
that the rotation is Cole, Rodon, Schmidt, Cortez, Weaver, and they don't get anyone else.
No.
Oh,
Well-
this is the Yankees.
Luke Weaver, Pop?
Major league deal? What are they going to put him in the
Put
bullpen?
him in the bullpen. He's the long reliever.
They're short a long reliever
/ spot starter that I've been asking for
Yeah,
the
okay,
Yankees run.
that's fine.
For
All right.
$2 million, you think the Yanks are going to throw a guy as their starting rotation? That's what they pay relievers. That's what they pay relievers.
But if they can't send him down,
You see what
Right.
they do to the web dog?
you think? But then they never paid the Web Dogs a minor league
That's
deal.
true. Yeah.
I think he's their.
What?
I think he's a long reliever spot starter.
I hope so.
Yeah, because you're in your heart of hearts. Do you think they would enter
it's
with
too much money to just
that
do
as the
that.
5-man rotation?
Yeah.
In your heart of hearts, you think that?
They entered last year with 3 unplayable players in the top 9.
In the lineup,
And we said for 3 months,
Well, they were
they're not going to
kidding.
do this.
right?
They're not going to do this. Well,
They
we're
have
waiting
to
on
get
the
him a
move.
fielder.
Every episode you said, we're waiting. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. There's something else happening.
Right with the
That's not-
lineup.
Yeah, but I'm saying we can be sitting here saying this doesn't add up. They got to make a move.
So
and they're
you
gonna
think
say,
Luke Weaver's a 5?
And they're going to say, we're going to pick up our next starter at the deadline.
You think Luke Weaver's a 5? It's done.
I think it's 50-50.
50-50.
I give 50% chance that they go into spring and they hold out. I'd love for them not to, but don't give them too much credit. I mean, I like that they got Soto, and I like what they do with the lineup.
What's going to spring and hold out mean?
For trade deadline. We're gonna get get our starter.
I thought you
deadline.
meant like sign another person in spring training because I think that's very much on the table.
Well, yeah,
The way this free agency
but it would be
going.
another Luke Weaver-esque guy who doesn't break camp. If they get Stroman, though, that's the worst dreamt-on version of the two starters we could have possibly had.
Right.
That feels like MLB The Show simulated, and how do you get this? Especially Luke Weaver just getting a deal.
So that they needed a Luke Weaver type, whether that was minor league or ideally the major league swingman I've been looking for a while. But yeah,
You think there's a chance they still get two more starters?
No, that's why I don't like this.
Oh yeah. Oh,
But
I mean, that was a lot of.
They're getting another starting
That was
pitcher.
a lot of web dog energy with the liking it. It was just very obvious. I thought it was a minor league deal though.
It may be. But,
Coin toss, they get another pitcher for me.
well, the title of this episode is about Marcus Stroman, who I don't think Luke Weaver ruled it out. I do have stat you might like on Stroman, the pitcher.
Okay.
Threw a lot of innings with not a lot of pitches during the 3 months he was good. Averaged 5.9 innings. The average MLB starter averaged 5.1 per start in those 20 starts, and he did that while only throwing over 100 pitches twice. So there was more in there if they needed it. So Stroman, the pitcher, gives you innings, gets quick outs. Pretty economical, the good version of him.
I mean, there's three different things in play with Stroman. There is a Yankees roster problem, which we kind of just talked in a lot of ways about. There's a Stroman-New York relationship problem. And then I burped.
That's the third.
That was the third problem for me.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
I was upset that we were right. I'm happy that we were right, that we said Luke Weaver's definitely coming back.
Right.
I thought it would be minor league. The more I let it sink in,
Yeah.
buckle up.
Matt Blake.
Sure, Weaver can be fine,
Right.
but they're going to get one more pitcher.
Starting pitcher.
Do you think it's Snell or Monty?
I don't think it's off the table. Luke Weaver doesn't change your thoughts on that, right? If you're making the investment on Snell or Monty, Luke Weaver for $2 million doesn't change your move on that.
No, not Luke Weaver.
Right.
But as we continue.
Right.
I think they're trying to make a trade.
I still think another starting pitcher is happening. I think they're working Bieber as hard as they can. And then it just becomes an interesting game because let's say it was Bieber. You look at the Yankees rotation. There's still 5, 6 Luke Weaver. You start getting into Luke Weaver, Luis Heel, and Chase Hampton. That'd be your 6, 7, 8. Beater, maybe one of those kids.
I think Beater's the first on that depth chart as far as ready to start a game. I don't know where Heels
Right.
rehab's at.
Good show. I'm sad.
Yankees
Came to a crashing halt for me.
finally make their Luke Weaver bet. You can make your bet at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL playoffs. It's bringing you an offer to help make the playoffs electrifying. We're also going to be live streaming a bunch of games on our JM Football channel. Make sure you go check that out. We'll probably place a couple bets because you can bet $5 on any game and you get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Yanks. New customers can bet just $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code Yanks. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in Connecticut. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus, ages vary by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
55%. They don't start. They sign another pitcher that's just the same level as Luke Weaver.
Really?
They like that top 4.
Major League?
They believe in bounce back in the top 4. Luke Weaver has someone competing with him in the 5th spot. They believe in Cole, Rodon, Schmidt, Nestor. And then they're going to sign another person of Weaver's ilk, or give like 3 dudes spring camp invites that might impress in spring, get the 5th start, and get through the first half of the season with that crop. When an injury happens, then trade deadline, try to fix it then. And that is now, we're up to 60% what's going to happen. And if I sit and we record this anymore, it's only going to keep going higher. I'm getting...
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not feeling that at all.
They're not going to move that top 4.
No. But I think they're going to add another starting pitcher. Luke Weaver's $2 million contract that we half anticipate.
The major league.
We still don't, A, have that fully confirmed, and B, he's a guy with a career ERA in the 5s. Like, I don't think that
Luke
changes
Weaver
their
didn't
other moves.
Shift me at all. Could be wrong.
I was already growing to
I think it's an order of
Stroman
operations.
shift me to, oh shit, they're out on Snell and Monty.
Right.
And then the more we go and they're not doing anything.
I don't know.
I think there's still a guy added to the rotation above that's firmly in our top 4, and somebody gets hurt because it's spring training and it's pitching.
Here's what I'll say.
It should be. Everything you guys are saying should happen.
When the Brian Cashman quote comes out that's like, hey, we searched on the starting pitching market kind of a la left field, and we didn't find any suitors, then it's red flag. The offseason still hasn't, gone.
What are you talking about? Boone's leaving for camp in 2 weeks?
Yeah, but he's doing a hellacious live in-person interview where he's meeting people on January 29th.
Downtown Social.
Snell, Monty haven't been signed. Bieber haven't been traded.
They love their top 4.
I mean, part of them has to believe in Rodon or Nestor bouncing back because they're guys who are on the team. But
I think they fully
even
believe
with
at least
that,
one fully bouncing back.
We've never seen a Luke Weaver of the Yankees' planned rotation, a player of Luke Weaver's ilk come into the season with the 5 spot.
What are you talking about? Yes, we have.
I'm excluding injuries.
Well, that's going to happen.
That's the point. The Yankees, in their purest plan without injuries, have never had a 5-starter with what Luke Weaver's coming in at.
Entering spring training.
I think they have. I mean, in 2017, that's a tough year as a straight-up competition.
2017 was the young upstart Yankees we said we'll probably never see again in our lifetime.
They called it a reset year.
Yeah, it was open competition. I'm trying to think.
Since then.
What year was Chassin or whoever?
Never got called up,
I don't think.
right? And again, that was like the 7th option.
Herman in 19. Would that be similar to Weaver?
Was he on the opening day rotation?
Yeah, he was in the opening day rotation.
19.
But when did Herman start with the Yankees?
He debuted in 17.
And I mean, he was like...
I think in 20...
Herman started that year in the rotation.
Yeah.
He was also a prospect. He was 25 in 2018.
How old's Weaver?
30? He's like a journeyman.
Yeah. You'd have to go back to a little bit ago.
So that's... Luke Weaver's not changing my thought process. I already had him on the team.
I think it's just more I think about it as my thought. I had him as a AAA option. I think now they're going to give out another minor league option. I actually think they're going to invite some dudes to camp, and someone can beat out and join the rotation. They like their top 4, and then they plan on fixing it at the deadline. That's what they've done the last couple of years.
But
with their problems.
I guess
we'll get their deadline.
looking at where starting pitching's at, like I don't even know if those exist anymore because Luke Weaver would have been like Exhibit A of
Cashman
that, right?
loves saying we didn't like the market, and the market's crazy right now.
Right. I don't know. I think if you're a potential MLB starting pitcher, I don't think like spring training invites like on the table anymore. You know what I'm saying?
It would be there's a bunch of guys down there that would be there. Like Odorizzi probably gets a spring training.
See, just Luke Weaver.
No one's competing. That's because he was with the Yankees at the end of the year.
Right, but like if Luke Weaver's getting MLB contracts, Jake Odorizzi's getting major league contracts.
We're running out of time, Jake. You think these are going to flood in?
But free agency's been super slow.
But the last time this happened, Lynn and who was the other? Like they didn't get deals. Gibby or
they eventually
Cobb
did
till like April, May, which is what the Yankees might be fucking waiting for.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Yankees. I don't think that would happen with the Yankees.
I hope not. I don't think they like the market. And I think they're going to be like, nah.
I don't think so, too. That's why the Stroman rumors came up.
The current long reliever on the Yankees roster is Nick Ramirez, who is optionable this year. I think, that said, Fangraphs does have Luke Weaver penciled into the 5 right now, where the Yankees roster is today.
Kicked out Clayton Beater.
Yeah.
I would be really surprised if they aren't today still planning on Luke Weaver starting the year as the long reliever. Market can get away from him. I've seen it happen before, but
I hope so. More I think about it, more I'm thinking the same thing's gonna happen last year with the Hicks, IKF, Donaldson. Where
I think
one
the
of
fear
these has
is reasonable.
and the 3 rookies. We're like, they can't start the season with 3 rookies and those 3 dudes, and we kept saying it for months. They can't do that. They can't do that. And we got to the start of the season, and they did that, and then it sucked, and they missed the playoffs and had the worst year they've ever had.
Yeah, I guess I was really worried about the lineup, and the lineup sucked.
Yes, and we said at this time last year, every app was like, well, they got to do something.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do anything.
Well, but that was a lot of pride, right? That was a lot of pride with the IKF trade, and they extended Hicks and Donaldson they thought was going to be great till the very end. Like, this has no pride to it. And the rest were prospects that they were hoping clicked because they had too much pride with the other guys.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't really have too much of that recipe. But I don't know. I guess stay tuned.
Jacob Junis. Invite. Can't hurt Judge anymore.
I think you'd get a guaranteed bullpen spot.
Who's,
They avoided arbitration with Victor Gonzalez.
That's a major league contract.
He's not predicted to get one.
I think they just get lazy at the end of Fangraphs.
I think they have a limit where they stop guessing.
Who's
Boyd?
Weren't you saying Birch Smith?
Come on. We're out. Go Yanks. Tell him Grams.
Go Yankees.
Birch Smith me when I'm in this mood.
$860K for Victor. So
I'll drop it to 35%, but I believe it's like 80.
Sounds like you didn't drop it.
Lost me both
There's
ways.
35%.
Lost me both ways.
They don't add anyone.
I fear you, God, Birch Smith.